What's up, YouTube, Facebook, fans, viewers? Welcome you once again. This is Pro Wrestling Unleashed. I am, of course, Bill Mack here with my WrestleMania 33 prediction show. Thank everyone for tuning in to my video here. I thought I was going to have Brandon from Brandon's Brandon's WWE report with us today, but he's got some other things going on, so it's just me flying solo today, folks. So looking forward to WWE WrestleMania 33. This is the big show of the year, like the Super Bowl of WWE. This is their jam-packed show that's going to last forever. So if you have a Sunday afternoon off, you might as well watch WWE. As their kickoff show comes on at 5 o'clock. It's going to be for 2 hours. Special start time for WWE WrestleMania will be 7 p.m. exclusively on the WWE Network. Hosted by, of course, as you see here on the screen, the New Day. They're going to host this year, which is a big change from last year whenever going through their historic WWE Tag Team title run as longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions. This year, however, is quite different as we see. They are now reduced to hosting, not even having a match on there. So, how a year makes and changes that can happen within a year. So we'll go through each matchup here, and I'll give you my thoughts and my opinion on who I think is going to pull each one out. So let's just jump right into it. First, we have on the kickoff show the Cruiserweight Championship, which I was very disappointed to see. I was really hoping that this matchup would be on the regular show, as this would actually be one of the only true wrestling matches, if they were able to put on a show, would have. So very sad to see that. But I feel like both guys had a good storyline going into the past month. My guess is I like the fact that I feel like Austin Aries is going to take the WWE Cruiserweight Championship from Neville. Neville's had a good run with it. I see him as still being in the title picture, even though if he were to lose the Cruiserweight Championship, Austin Aries has been injured. He's come back off of commentary. Now he's back into wrestling. So I feel as if he is going to end up basically taking the WWE Cruiserweight title from Neville. I expect this to be a really good matchup. Sad that it's on the kickoff show, but what can you do? I mean, that's WWE for you. Put a title match on a kickoff show, but that's WWE. So for my first pick of the match, first matchup of the night, which I hope these are in no particular order, but I did get the kickoff show matches, which are 3 this year on the verse 3. So we'll get those. Rest of them are in no particular order, but I will give you my thoughts and opinions on the winners. So I'm going to pick Austin Aries to defeat Neville and get the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. So moving right along. As we see up next, we see the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Just been a lot of different people that have been chosen to pick this, as every year WWE honor Giant by having the Memorial Battle Royal. They've got this nice trophy that they have out there at ringside, and it's basically like a Battle Royal throw over the top, and the last one over wins. A lot of different people have been chosen, and my pick will be, obviously, since he doesn't have a match, which is very sad, is the monster among men, Braun Strowman. I feel like he has had a good run this year. Sad to say he doesn't have a main event feud with anybody at this moment, because I feel like the feud with Roman Reigns should have been a WrestleMania feud. But, that's not for me to decide, but it would have been great to see, because that actually was a good feud that had lasted for a while. Really didn't have the real kind of feel closure to it, but what can you say? So, of all the competitors, my choice is going to be that Braun Strowman is going to win this, since he doesn't have a title. This is going to be his first accolade. So I'm going to choose Braun Strowman, the Monster Among Men, as the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Right along here, folks. Very sad for this one. This is I think that these women matches were thrown together. And I feel like basically that they put, we're going to, as we get into the Raw women, so this is the last of the matches on the kickoff show. There was 3 of them. they're having a bunch of women come in, a bunch of the legends. I know, like you see now, Mickey James, Alexa Bliss, Natalia, Carmella, Mickey James. All these are in this, and also you're going to have Naomi was just added late. She came back with Smackdown. She's going to be in it. They've called some other ones in basically to kind of like give it a feel that it's supposed to be Alexa's going to defend it against any available women in the SmackDown locker room, which are going to have a bunch of legends. Like I think Kelly comes back. There's some talk of maybe Eve Torres coming back for a one-time thing with them. Remains to be seen. This is very hard to pick. I mean, but I feel like folks coming into it since WWE has been disappointed with Alexa Bliss's in-ring work. I think they're going to take the title off of her. They did want to have it on Naomi. Naomi got injured. She had to relinquish the title. So I feel like, in my best opinion and choice, I feel like Naomi is going to be the one to regain the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship and just give back to her, because really she's never going to do it something of give a Naomi of a push, and she is getting good crowd reaction. So I look to Naomi to being the winner of the SmackDown Women's Championship matchup. So now we're going to get into the beginning card of the WWE WrestleMania. And up first here, we have a fatal four-way that was a triple threat that was a one-on-one. First, we had Bayley versus Charlotte. Then it morphed into Bayley versus Charlotte versus Sasha. Now we've had it Bayley versus Sasha versus Charlotte versus Nia Jax. It's all formed up over the past few weeks. Sasha is supposed to get a heel turn from what we're hearing, what I've been reading over the past few weeks, and I look for it to happen here. Remember, Charlotte has been trying to tell Bayley that Sasha's been trying to steal her limelight ever since Bayley became the Raw Women's Champion. But Sasha has to have the spotlight on her, that Sasha's really not going to be her friend. Even Sasha mentioned that she was going to win the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. So I look for something to happen between Sasha and Bayley, and I think this is an elimination match. So we'll just see how that goes, and I feel as if Charlotte is probably going to retain again. I know you're going to say, oh, no, not more Charlotte. But, yeah, Charlotte, I would love for Nia Jax to get it because she's a monster, but they've been pushing the other three ladies, and really Nia Jax really hadn't got a whole lot of love in this. So, my heart says it is going to be Charlotte probably retaining because she has had a 15-1 pay-per-view record in championship matches. So I've looked for her to probably somehow regain it, something to do with Sasha turning on Bayley. So that will be my matchup. And we'll take a quick pause here, and we'll be right back, folks. Just hold on tight, and we'll continue on. And we're continuing on, folks, with the next matchup here. Now this has been a very interesting feud that actually started way last year. Remember, Triple H brought Seth Rollins in to be the guy, to be the Authority's champion. And basically what happened was Seth got hurt at a house show. I think he was going to try to powerbomb Kane through a table, I believe, and his leg gave out on him. He was out with surgery. He missed last year's WrestleMania. This year, the feud was starting to build up, and Rollins looked like this time we're going to actually have the feud to happen at this year's WrestleMania. And lo and behold, coincidentally, at Samoa Joe's debut on Raw, he gets hurt yet again. So now he's come back, and the doctors have not cleared him to wrestle. But Triple H they've been cutting promos here the last few weeks, and Triple H got Seth to agree to a non-sanctioned match, which means if Seth gets hurt, that he can't sue Triple H, he can't sue Stephanie, the WWE, anyone within there. And good feud here going. Seth agreed. And Seth finally got the best of Triple H in the last Raw, just past Raw, the go-home Raw before WrestleMania. So I just somehow seeing Triple H somehow underhanding Seth Rollins, with Seth, if his leg's hurting like it is and he's not cleared, I just see somehow Triple H undermining Seth and this feud continuing on. And I know that we say, well, these feuds usually end at WrestleMania, but this one, since Seth got hurt, he really wasn't able to legitimately carry on much of a match. I feel like Triple H is basically going to somehow pull it out in the end and get it. I know I would love to say Seth and Hart, but he's hurt like this, not being able to do much. Seth may come on top, but my heart says I feel like Triple H is going to end up winning it anyway. So for my choice for this matchup is I'm going to have Triple H getting the victory over Seth Rollins. Next, moving right along, next matchup. This has been a good feud on SmackDown. If you watch SmackDown where there actually is wrestling, good stories, this has been a good storyline here. We've had Baron Corbin taking on Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title. These guys have had a good feud here the last couple months. It's been slowly building, but I like that they're building Corbin as a legitimate heel on SmackDown, and they need to have that. The man can cut promos. He can talk. I mean, the scripts and stuff that they read when they're doing it, it's like I've heard him mention on Solid Monster. The man doesn't need one. He's been on Talking Smack, and what was sad to see was on the Go Home SmackDown that neither of these guys was on the actual show. Now, they were on Talking Smack, and like I said, I felt like SmackDown was more of a storyline to tie up, to continue on the feud leading into WrestleMania. Wasn't much of wrestling on there, and this was one of those accounts where it was storyline going into Talking Smack, even though I would love to see another stage segment with Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin. Didn't happen, so good spots between Dean seeking out and interfering with and distracting Baron in his matchup. Also seeing Baron Corbin sneak attack on Dean Ambrose where he drops the forklift on top of Dean Ambrose, sending him to the hospital. He was out a week or so. So I thought this is a good storyline, good feud here happening. And I actually do see Baron Corbin taking the Intercontinental title. It's what talk I've been hearing, and I would agree that you need to put a title on the man, even though it's the Intercontinental title. Slowly build this man up to be a force to be reckoned with. A lot of times it's good to have a heel as champion rather than having a babyface as champion. And plus, there's been talks of turning Dean heel. So what remains to be seen, but I feel like another title will change hands, and this time it's going to be Baron Corbin taking the Intercontinental title from Dean Ambrose, and that is my choice. Moving right along. Now, this matchup has been – the storyline is good. I like the storyline. I wish it had been a little bit longer. They did it like the last 3 weeks because I knew they come off the pay-per-view and stuff, and I feel like the storyline has been really told well. A lot of AJ fans have been, including myself, I'm an AJ fan, were like, I wish it had been, towards more another athlete. It had been a wrestler. Shane, Shane's a spot guy. Shane will try to put on a decent match. His wrestling doesn't look real. Shane's a spot guy, and in certain matches. And AJ brought that to light in their sit down that they had at the contract signing on SmackDown, as he let Shane know this isn't a specialty match. This isn't a no DQ match. This is not a tables, ladders, and chairs match. This is a match. You're going to be in this ring. You're not going to be able to have anything in these spots like this for this to happen. So I feel like this is going to be AJ's going to almost always a professional in carrying a match. He's one of the hardest working guys, one of the most talented guys, as Shane pointed out in his sit down. He recognizes this talent. So I look for AJ to somehow. Well, no, let me change that. I think AJ could win it, but I have been hearing some rumblings. Usually after WrestleMania, they do the draft. I know last year was a little bit different, the brand extension, but there's been talk of AJ going to Raw. And if something happens where Shane wins to further antagonize AJ to get traded or to wait till the brand draft for him to go over to Raw, something's going to happen. So I'm actually going to say Shane's going to win somehow, causing AJ to be upset and either demanding to be traded or something happened because there's been talk of AJ going to Raw and Roman Reigns over on Raw going to SmackDown. So we'll see if that remains to be seen because John Cena after WrestleMania is gone, folks. So they're going to need a top face over on SmackDown to guide the ship. And unfortunately, for a lot of people that like wrestlers, and cheering Roman Reigns is unfortunately their guy, so he's going to go over and take Cena's place while Cena's out. So, but my choice here is going to be Shane McMahon is going to somehow win. Like I said, I don't know how, but it's going to happen, and it's going to cause, of course, AJ to be irate because if he wins, it just shows he's better than Shane, and then or whatever happens, and it's not going to cause any reason or any conflict for AJ to go over to Raw. So I just see somehow of AJ Styles losing somehow to Shane in the wrestling pay-per-view. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to take a quick pause here, and we'll be right back, and we'll continue on. Going right along, folks. One of our main event matchups, I would say main event because it is for a WWE Championship. So I'm going to call this a main event. Awesome feud here that started back since last year, slowly building, which you don't see these feuds anymore. You have the WWE World Title. You have the Heavyweight Champion Bray Wyatt defending his championship against former Wyatt family member Randy Orton, RKO. This has been a good feud. I've seen a lot go on with this matchup. I've seen a lot going on in this feud. Remember, Randy told everybody that if you can't beat him, might as well join him. So he kind of slithered his way into the Wyatt family. Bray accepted him in, and they've kind of been, and Randy's been helping Bray along the way with this title. Now we see WrestleMania come up. We see that Randy Orton indeed is going to challenge Bray for the title. Remember, Bray, initially he told Bray he wasn't going to, as long as he had allegiance pledged to him, he wasn't going to battle him at all for the WWE World title. As long as he was the master and he was the servant, he wasn't going to challenge him. Then we see on the Titantron that Randy is sitting where Bray Wyatt's shelter is, where Sister Abigail is buried, her remains. He talks to Bray and reveals to Bray that he will indeed challenge him, that he wasn't going to be a part of the Wyatt family. And he takes and sets the whole compound and the rocking chair and Sister Abigail on fire. Awesome, and awesome video. The way to end SmackDown a few weeks back, we see that that Randy is going to challenge him. Now, from what I've been hearing, I hear that Bray is going to end up retaining the title from what I hear. So I'm going to go along with that. I agree because Randy's had the title 12 times. AJ's going to be back in the world title picture at some point. So Randy getting it just wouldn't make sense. And Randy's been talking about a heel too. So a lot more people rather be heels than faces. But I feel as if Bray is somehow going to retain the title. And remember, Luke was going against Bray in this past SmackDown, but Bray's power and influence over Luke took over, allowing Bray to defeat Luke. Maybe Luke comes in and assists Bray somehow, because remember, Luke doesn't like Randy, because Luke tried to tell Bray that Randy was no good for them, that he was tearing the Wyatt family apart. So it could be that Luke turns back with Bray, aligning himself with Bray. And remember, Rowan is supposed to come back at some point. Maybe they reunite at WrestleMania and overtake Randy. So my choice here will be that Bray will end up taking the matchup, retaining the WWE World Championship, and defeating Randy Orton. So we'll continue on and go to the next matchup. Okay. Now, this, folks, this has been the best, I would say, Under any other circumstances, this would be a boring match. Nobody would care. I wouldn't care. Really wouldn't. But over the last few weeks, The Miz and Maurice have really made this feud entertaining. John Cena and Nikki have been the serious ones. Miz and Maurice have made very light of John Cena and Nikki's relationship, how they haven't been married yet, how John Cena, and there's talk of John Cena proposing to Nikki because Nikki, I think, is leaving after WrestleMania as well. I don't know if Maurice has been wrestling or not. The Miz, but they have done some awesome acting. The last 2 episodes of Smackdown, where they've hosted this supposedly lost episode of Total Bellas, where the Miz is dressed up as Cena, Maurice has been Nikki, has been very, very entertaining. Even Saul Monster says one of the funniest things WWE has done in a very long time. And it really has made the feud interesting just to see how the match is going to turn out. Now, I feel like Nikki and Cena are going to pull it out. I just do. Because it's Cena. He's the head guy right now. But I feel like this promo work that they have done towards each other and the way SmackDown's promos are, with reality brought in with shoot and along with fake kayfabe, has been very entertaining. I'm going to watch it. Hopefully it doesn't come on too early because I have to work. But I feel as if John Cena and Nikki are going to win, but the Miz and Maurice have made it very, very entertaining to watch, more so than I would have had interest in watching it before. So I feel like Cena and Nikki are going to win, but I will give it to the Miz and Maurice for making the promos and stuff highly entertaining and making this match more interested in watching than basically it would have had it not been that. So John Cena and Nikki with the win. As we see here. Oops, I went a little too far. Sorry about that, folks. I'm a little too far away. We have the U.S. Championship matchup. Team KO, Chris, Jericho have broke up. Jericho's leaving after WrestleMania to get ready for his band Fozzy to go on tour. They had to break up. One of the most entertaining comedy bits over the past few months is these two have had a very interesting relationship. They've had each other's backs. Kevin Owens kind of became a heel, that finally became a heel when he turned on Jericho. Jericho become really liked different than when his beginning of the year when he was taking on AJ when AJ first came in up until now. People like Jericho. The list Jericho's big hit. A lot of funny acts of it. This is an interesting matchup. I see KO winning the U.S. Championship, and KO, I feel as if he is going to end up winning. He's got to win. He's got to win the title. Jericho's leaving. Jericho can't take the U.S. title with him. So my just obvious logical choice would be Kevin Owens. I hate to see this friendship break up and this match happen. It happened but it was time. Even though it was very highly entertaining and one of the best runs Jericho has had since his first run, I feel as if whenever Jericho came in, to me, this was like his next second best run. He's had the U.S. title, and he was deserving to have a title before the year was out, before it was time for him to leave. And granted, I know it's still early in the year, but I look as if Jericho's had a good run, and so I look for him to go off. Even though he loses, I look for him to go off and come back whenever his band is over with their touring for this upcoming tour. So my choice is going to be Kevin Owens winning the United States title and carrying on the feud with this title, and hopefully he can do it a lot more justice than what Roman Reigns had it when he had the U.S. title. And going on with it. So I look for Kevin Owens to win the U.S. Championship from Chris Jericho. And we're getting ready to wind these down, folks. The last few matches, we're going to take another break, and we'll be right back. Just hold on tight. We're getting there. And moving right along here, folks, winding down these last few matchups. Okay. We have the Raw Tag Team Championship matchup. This is a triple threat matchup. Now added to the stipulation of it from Twitter is now a ladder match. So now not only is there a triple threat, there's going to be ladders. Just a note for those who don't know, Sheamus got busted open legitimately, and he had to get stitches and stuff in his head. He posted to his Twitter. So he's legitimately got busted open the ladder from what happened on Monday on Raw Monday night. The club have had a good run with it. I feel like that Cesaro and Sheamus have already had a run with it. So process of elimination, Enzo and Cass are going to get it. Now, I'm not a big fan of Enzo and Cass. Promo-wise, good, but this is just a mixed-up tag team. You've got Enzo and Cass. Cass is a big man. Enzo's a little man. To me, Enzo is the weakest link to their tag team. I feel like he's the weakest link. And whenever they had matchups where they lose, who's usually getting pinned, who's usually getting hurt? Usually Enzo. And even the fans are starting to turn a little bit. You can kind of hear in the background with the universe, WWE universe, them saying, "Thank you, Strowman. Thank you, whoever, for kicking Enzo." Enzo's getting a little bit annoying. And while the fans still cheer with him some and go with their whole promo, fans are kind of turning on him a little bit. It seems as if because they're just sometimes things can become annoying. The club have now established themselves as a legitimate threat in the tag team division. So long ever since they've been in, they've came and they've fought and they've lost, but now they've had the titles. They've established themselves, and of course Cesaro and Sheamus are once were two singles guys. Foley brought them together. They won tag team gold. They beat the New Day. They're the one to end the New Day's WWE tag team title reign. The club now has the titles. They've had them for a little while, so I see Enzo and Cass now getting them and running with them for a little while. I hope this will happen. Then looks like they'll end up breaking up, and Vince is how big Cass. He wants Big Cass to excel in the company, and Enzo maybe can do his own thing. But for right now, I see that they need a title run. They established themselves as a legit team. A big call from NXT. So I look for Enzo and Cass to get the wins and pick up the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. Moving right along. Folks, I don't know what to say about this match. I just want to say congratulations to Goldberg. Goldberg was a WCW guy. Very big WCW fans. Those who know me know I won't hesitate to tell you about it. I'm a WCW fan. I grew up with it. NWA, WCW, WCW itself. But Goldberg was nostalgia. Goldberg came in when the 2K17 game come out. They made a feud with Brock. Brock's kind of gotten squashed. Goldberg, the first matchup they had, Goldberg Survivor Series. Goldberg defeated Brock in a minute and 26 seconds. Then we seen at the Royal Rumble, it's Goldberg that ends up eliminating Brock. And now we see Goldberg ended up at Fastlane defeating Kevin Owens in a squash match. Now we see this finally culminating where Goldberg's going to leave after WrestleMania. Brock has still got some more appearances after WrestleMania. So logical tell you, if Goldberg's contract ends after WrestleMania, he's not going to be coming out and leaving as champion. So what kind of match does this be? It's still folks up in there. I've been hearing a lot of it being a spoiler match, a squash match. I've been hearing it be quick. Brock going to end it quick. Because this match isn't going to be the final matchup. This is not going to be your main event. You say, Bill, well, usually one of the title matches is the main event. Not this time. Not this time at all. This will be probably a quick matchup, and it'll send Goldberg off. And Goldberg's got an open door policy with WWE's. They've told him that they need him to come back in at a certain period of time and do appearances. He'll do it. So he's going to leave after WrestleMania, but the door's always welcoming back for him to go in. So we look as in Brock got one up on Goldberg when he F5'd him a couple weeks ago. Goldberg gets his revenge back and spears Brock when he comes outside this past edition of Raw. But ultimately, in the end, Brock is going to end up taking the Universal title. So it goes from one part-timer to another part-timer. So, but this isn't going to be your main event by no long shot. So Brock Lesnar is going to end up becoming your new WWE Universal title. And I wish Goldberg the best and look forward to seeing him whenever appearances he can make back with WWE. So we're going on to the should be the last matchup, but not least. A very interesting for you folks. You've got the big dog taking on the Undertaker. And it's all started back, like I said, it's not to me. I felt my personal opinion is I felt like this wasn't a well-established built feud. They've rushed it together the last 2 weeks or so. I've loved to have seen it last longer. But that's why I said Roman's been in a feud with Braun Strowman. That should have been the feud for WrestleMania here. But because there wasn't enough time to establish it. Some have said the Undertaker was noticeably limping the other night whenever he choke slammed Braun Strowman and took that spear from Roman Reigns. This could be the Undertaker's final matchup. He's got to have hip surgery, I think, and he just looks broken down. Roman has tried to establish this was his yard now. Maybe this is the Undertaker passing the torch to Roman. A lot of people thought it would have been Cena at the beginning of the year because that's what a lot of talk was. But it came down to where it's the Undertaker and taking on Roman. Roman's going to be the guy I think that's going to pass it. I just don't see the Undertaker even taking a break to going out and having another WrestleMania moment. That I think that Roman is going to end up taking this. And it's going to be the Undertaker passing the torch to Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns getting the win. And the Undertaker ultimately retiring. So that's going to be my choice for this matchup. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I know this has been a long, extended version of Pro Wrestling Unleashed. This is, of course, WrestleMania. And there's like 13 matches on the card. Hope I've covered every single one of them. But those are my choices. Like I said, I'm sorry that Bullet B, Brandon from Brandon's WWE report couldn't make it be on the show, but I will drop a link on his profile. It's going to be down below at the end of the video. So check him out. He's got a lot of wrestling content and a lot of other stuff on his channel. Until next time, this is Pro Wrestling Unleashed. I am, of course, Bill Mack. Everyone take care and take it easy. Yeah.